happening? How's my light? I don't even know. It says I'm live. It says I'm live. Hi, those lights are a little hot. Excuse me. Excuse me, how dare you? Please go back. Hi. Hi, welcome to the live stream. If you clicked on this and it's not a live stream, it's just like a video, then you get to be here for the playback. So I'm sorry you missed me live. My live streams right now are the last Sunday of every month at 4 p.m. Eastern time. So maybe you can catch the next one. But for everybody else who's going to be showing up, it's 4 o'clock. Hi, I'm Michelle. Welcome to Unicorn and Centaur's live stream. Say hi if you're here in the chat. I am here. Obviously, I'm here. Scott's here moderating. Because we love Scott. If he can figure out how to get in the chat, he's here moderating. So we'll see if that's happening. Hi, welcome to the live stream. It feels like it's been forever since I've done a live, and it's only been like a month, and a lot has happened. So what are we going to do today? I want to talk equestrian fiction, horse books that you can read. Harry Plumtree is here. Hello, Harry. How are you today? Today we're going to talk equestrian fiction, horse books. I have a book that I'm going to give away. And we'll do this later. I'm not giving you this one because this one I've been through. I will send you a brand new one. But we're going to discuss this book, Well Armored Hearts, which is my latest equestrian read, in a little bit. But first, who's here? Lauren's here. Autism Centaur, yay! And Taylor, hi guys, yay! I didn't have the my Extra Equestrians Facebook group to post and like tag everybody in this time. So I'm like, is everybody going to remember? Are people going to show up? So hi, I'm so glad everybody's here. Also, I want to thank my Patreon supporters. If you remember from last time, I did lose my channel memberships. I lost my channel monetization. I don't know how to get it back because I'm not that person that knows how to do stuff. So there's no more channel memberships, but I do want to thank my patrons. I do still have my Patreon. If you want to join in on the Patreon fun, there is a link in the description box below, which, by the way, if you are on my Patreon, I know it's the last day of the month. I know I owe you an outtake reel. I'm doing that as soon as I get done with this live stream. I swear, I've got iMovie open in another. I've got iMovie already open and it's already set up to go. I make an outtake video for patrons, at least one a month. Sometimes I do two. So that I'm getting that done and posting that later on tonight on Patreon. So thank you to all my Patreon people. But let me catch up. Hang on. Testing 1, 2. Scott's here. Yes. The door to my realm, that is my husband, Scott. Trish is here. Hey! Breed of Giants is a good book. Okay, hang on. I got to get my thing down. I'm taking notes. By the way, this is a very selfish live stream. I'm taking notes from y'all. I am figuring out like the next things I want to read from you guys. Like, I don't want to read an article online. I'm just going to go live on YouTube and have people tell me what to read. That is what we're doing. So there is a new Facebook group. If you are missing the old Extra Equestrians Facebook group, I have checked in occasionally and I haven't looked at the conversations. I've just like gone through and scrolled and I like try to heart react the posts of people that I remember, like y'all and like people I remember from the old group. I'll heart react their posts, but I'm not like in the comments. I'm not an admin or a mod in there at all. And the difference in my notifications in the mornings is amazing. Hey, I had no idea how much time I was spending in that group. I mean, now I go in to check in, but it's different. Do you know what I mean? Anyway. So what I have been doing, I made reins for our Texas new bridle. Good news for those of you who are following me and my horses. If you didn't see already on Instagram and on my Facebook page, Sunny has been cleared to ride again. So a lot of you know last Thanksgiving, somehow he injured his what is this? Right, left? His left rear stifle. Don't make fun of me. His left rear stifle, which is equivalent to a human knee joint. And honestly, the vet was not sure if I'd ever be able to ride him again. He might have been just like this giant pasture puff, just living his best life, eating treats and farting in the sunshine. But fortunately, he gets to work and play with me again. Well, he was making YouTube videos with me. I can't like totally say Sunny was like worthless. And that's a weird thing to say about an animal anyway. But I'm so happy I get to ride him again. The vet was like, yes, get on this horse and go. So after he healed from his broken tooth, he also had a broken tooth. He had to have extracted. It was a big day for all of us. Monday was the vet day. Oh my God, that I was so stressed out. Anyway, it was a huge vet bill. Again, oh, there's you can join the Patreon if you'd like to help me with my vet bills. Thanks, Sunny. So if I have this really expensive animal, I'd like to be able to ride it. If I'm going to have an animal big enough to ride, I guess I'm going to say, then I should be able to ride it. If you have pets big enough to ride, you should be able to ride them. Is that a rule? It should be a rule. If it's not. Scott's sitting here just listening to all this. So now coming up next month, I am out of money, y'all. So I'm not buying products to review right now. I do have some Opaw's hair paste, and I'm going to do a video in March testing out or comparing a couple of different temporary hair color methods, like colored hairspray, hair paste, hair chalk, and anything else I can find like at the dollar store. So I'm going to do like a comparison of how each of them applies. How easy are they to apply? How expensive are they? What are the results that you can get? How big of a pain is it to get it out? That kind of thing. So that's a video coming up in March that I am super excited about. Also, the return of the Centaur of Attention. I've had people messaging me and leaving comments saying, I hope Sunny's getting better, because there are a lot of people there are people who watch my channel because they're my friends and they like watching my videos. There are horse owners who watch my videos for the extra equestrianness, I guess. And then there are the Centaur of Attention people. There are people who are following my channel just for the Centaur of Attention videos. And I love y'all. Y'all have like a special little chamber in my heart. And I've thought about y'all this whole time Sunny has been laid up. He's been living his best life in the pasture. So I'm so excited. I've ridden him twice now since the vet has cleared him to ride. And Wednesday, I think I'm going to shoot the next one. So this next Sunday is going to be the next Centaur of Attention video. Where has the Centaur of Attention been? Do you know? I know. I'm not telling you yet, though. Anyway, I'm excited about that, obviously. So what are you guys doing? Let me check in. What have you been doing in the last month? What are you doing with your horses? What are you doing with your art? What are you doing for self-care? What are the stresses in your life? What's going on? Tell me all about it. I need to know what y'all are doing. Extreme Equestrian is here. Hi. Madeline Kate, hi. I saw you liked my Facebook post, and I was like, oh, good, because I wasn't going to do a tag list, and I was hoping that you'd make it. Kristen Marchand, is it Marchand, or is that how we say it, like the French way? So excited, my first live stream. Yay! I'm happy you're here. Hopefully my husband won't take his laptop. Well, I may be sharing your pain. May have to get this horse's leg ultrasounded with her spring shots. Ugh. And she is my retired pasture pup. That's hard. We may have to do a live stream talking about pasture puffs, like the ethics of the decision making about them, because honestly, in the last couple months, we've had some difficult conversations in our family. Like, what can we afford? I'm not a rich person. What can I reasonably afford? And what do we do with this horse if it turns out he's like lame? How lame is he? Is he suffering? Is it okay? Can he have some sort of useful life? Where does he need to end up? How much does that cost? There has been so many difficult conversations, and so many people have pasture puff horses that I feel like this is probably a live stream or a discussion or a topic that we should, like, no judgment, that we should talk about, because it's hard. Like, not every horse is able to be driven or jumped or ridden on trails or ridden at all. Some horses have issues that require expensive or time-consuming maintenance. And there are some owners that just don't have the resources, the time, the money, the what have you. So anyway, that's not today's discussion. But if you would like to see that discussion, maybe next month we could get into that. But yes, Persephone, missed you guys too. Been working on different breeds of unicorn and Pegasus and horses. Neat. Working on a video. Got in trouble at the bar. You got in trouble? What did you get in trouble for? I hope it was nothing. I hope you weren't being naughty. Okay. So yes, I miss doing the live streams as well. I got a little bit smarter. I wrote down my outline for today's live stream. Usually I have my giant unicorn notebook and it's really unwieldy, but today I was like, no, I'm doing this small. So I should have tagged Zadel. I don't know if he remembers if I don't tag him, because I hope he shows up in the chats, because he's always in my chats. Who else needs to be here that I may have forgotten to tag? Seems the last month was shoveling snow and nothing but shoveling snow. I mean, I'm banned for 2 months to go there. Aw. Oh no. That sounds awful. It sounds like you need to do a lot of art to fill that space in your life. That's what I would do anyway. If I couldn't go to the barn, I would pour my feelings into my artwork or my writing. Sometimes I write. And shoveling snow, we didn't get snow this year. It has frozen twice, three times. I don't know. We may have one more freeze before St. Patrick's Day. And by freeze, I mean it'll get down to kind of 32, maybe 33, 32. There'll be a little bit of frost on the neighbor's roof, and there'll be a little bit of frost on the plant leaves, but that's all.
Extreme Equestrian wants to know what the giveaway is.
Oh, the giveaway. We're going to give away a book today. The topic we're going to discuss after we've all caught up and everything, which is actually pretty soon, is equestrian fiction. I want to talk about what our favorite books are. And my latest read is a book called Well Armored Hearts. It's by J.D. Harrison, who was a member of the old Extra Equestrians group, and I think is also a member of the Horse Book Addicts Facebook group. I'm not sure. I'll have to go look. Anyway, they've written a whole entire series that is about modern day jousting, like actual jousting that happens at Ren fairs. If you've been to a Ren fair, they don't all have horses and jousting, but there are ones that do. So the author was a professional jouster, and so has written an entire series of books about professional modern jousting. So I bought the first book in the series and I really enjoyed it. I will give you a mini book review in just a little bit, and then we'll do a giveaway for the book. And again, I'm not going to send you like my old beat up copy. I'm mean to books, y'all. I'm a book lover, but most book lovers like hate me because I dog ear pages, I break spines, I write in pencil in the margins, I take highlighters and I will highlight like my favorite passages. I'm so mean to books, but like they're like I get into the book. I destroy the book, but it becomes a part of me. Does that make sense? Is that wrong? Am I wrong? I might be wrong. So anyway, you'll get your own brand new copy mailed to your house. Okay. All right, Autism Centaur, I'm catching up with you. Oh, forgot to go in a certain area without my parents' permission. Yeah, that's harsh. I love breaking the spines of books. It's so satisfying. Thank you. I thought I was going to get mega hate for that. In the chat, if we're being real. I'm so glad somebody else is here. I don't know why it's really satisfying. I don't know why using a book fully is so satisfying to me. Like to keep it all pristine seems wrong. Like that's not what you're supposed to do with a book. You should see, I was addicted to Stephen King when I was a teenager in high school, and I had like all of his paperback books, and it was just a whole row of shredded spines. Like they all just completely, because I would read them like 5 or 6 times. And so the spines were just like completely shredded off. If I read a book so many times that the spine actually fell apart, that was like victory. It's like panning an eyeshadow. It's just, it feels so good. So bad.
Overuse.
I haven't read a horse themed book in years. The first book I read was called A Blanco, Legend of the White Stallion. Ooh. Yes, you said it correctly. Has Ontario. Ah, okay. Taylor's here listening, multitasking. Okay. All right, everybody. Let's talk books then. Let's talk about horse books. I was a voracious reader as a child. We had regular library days. My mother would take, in addition to school, my mother would take us to the library on the weekends, and I would get stacks. And one stack would be for reading while we were at the library, and I would just shoot through this whole stack of books. And then the other books I would stack up. Those were the ones I was taking home with me. And mostly those were the horse books because I wanted to like read and enjoy them. I was nice to library books, by the way. I did not do all the mess that I do to my books, to library books. No. But it was always horse books. And my favorites were Marguerite Henry, who I wrote her a letter when I was in fourth grade. We were supposed to write to her favorite author. So I wrote to Marguerite Henry, and I don't think she's alive anymore, but she was alive back then. This was like 1980, 1979. No, 1981. I don't know, somewhere around there, but she was still alive, very old lady. And she wrote me back. It was like a typed form letter, but then she like hand wrote a little note at the end answering the questions that I'd had for her, like specifically, and signed her name. I don't even remember what that is, but that was like one of the highlights of my childhood was getting the letter from Marguerite Henry. And also my letter from Ronald Reagan, because not to get political, but I was like 8. So I wrote a letter to the president because I was 8 years old, and he rode horses and loved jelly beans. And so I was over the moon. So I wrote the president a letter and told him that I was also an equestrian. And I also liked riding horses just like he did. And I got, the White House form letter. Thank you, kid, for writing to the president with the stamp. It like wasn't even his signature. So and he's not an author. So why am I even talking about that? Anyway, of course, Walter Farley was a favorite author. I think I read all of the Black Stallion books. Although I'm surprised nowadays, I will look in a list of Walter Farley's books and there are Black Stallion books I haven't read. I haven't even heard of. I guess they didn't have them at whatever library I got. Because like my appetite for books was so great. Like if my mother bought me a book that was in a series, I would have to go to the library and get all the rest of the books in the series so that I could like.
Maybe they were the failed versions of the Black Stallion, like they didn't do as well. Like the Black Stallion goes to Washington. I think
it got that way. Like there was the Black Stallion, and I don't even remember the second one, but the first couple of books, like the Black Stallion and Satan.
In space.
No, there was the Black Stallion and Satan.
Oh my God!
But it wasn't actually Satan. That was the name of his son, his offspring, yes. And I remember reading The Blood-Baked Colt. And anyway, I read a bunch of Walter Farley's books. Anything they had in the library, I took it home and read it. What were my other horse books? I see the chat is lit. Hang on, I'm getting back in here. Used to read the Saddle Club. I never got into like the teen horse series. Like when I went through puberty, like horse books were no more. And it was all about horror and fantasy. Of course, I did love all the horses in the fantasy books. Like the only reason I read the Narnia series was the first book of the Narnia series I read was The Horse and His Boy, because I saw the title in a book club flyer. And I'm circling it. I'm circling all the books that I want to get. Because that was like the one thing. My parents didn't buy me like a bunch of stuff all the time. But if it was books, I could have like the moon. So when we'd get those book club things, I just go in there circling all the horse stuff, circle the horse posters, circle the horse bookmarks, circle the horse everything. And yeah, just go nuts. But Saddle Club, I don't know. I would probably go back and read those, even as an adult. Are they super cringy? Who's read the Saddle Club books as an adult? Is it worth going back to and being like, oh, okay. Like for a cheesy little, like for reference, I don't watch Heartland. If that helps anybody, giving me a recommendation.
Saddle Club.
Yeah, Thoroughbred series. I loved a Unicorn trilogy known as the Firebringer series. Hang on while I write this down. Oh my God. The Firebringer series. Okay. The Birth of the Firebringer in 6th grade. Didn't find the other two. I was 25. Oh, isn't that weird when that happens? It's like finding treasure. Oh, it's like going back in time. It's like, oh, wow, I didn't know this was a thing. I love it. Just starting a new project that I expect will take a few years. Carving a carousel horse that will be modeled after my driving pony. That sounds like an amazing project that I am 100% behind. I like you. I know.
When do you ride?
I don't know if it'll be big. Will it be big? How big? What's the scale? It doesn't matter what the scale is. I'm already in love. But is it going to be little or is it going to be like giant?
Sure.
Could I ride it? Can I come to your house and ride it? That's what I want to know. With Scott. Scott wants to ride it too. Okay. Firebringer series. Also, speaking of like more fantasy or unicorns, obviously after watching The Last Unicorn as a kid, I can't remember how old I was, 8, 10, something like that. When I found out it was a novel, it was a movie adaptation of a novel or a novella. How do you say that?
Novella.
I don't know. I don't know how you say it. It's shorter than a novel. It's a little novel. But by Peter S. Beagle, who, if you have not read Peter S. Beagle, I would recommend it. He's like, it's quirky. It's quirky. I like it. I had a book, like when I got The Last Unicorn to read, it was in a book with 3 other stories. And the first one was Lila the Werewolf. It's a short story about a man who discovers his girlfriend is a werewolf. Discovers it one night as he catches her coming in. And the crazy thing is, like, in his book, she said it happened to her at puberty. It happens to her, and that's her monthly cycle. And I was just fascinated by this, like at the age that I read it. There's another one that takes place in a fine and private place is what it's called. What's the 4th story in that one? Oh, is it Come Lady Death? I think it is, where death comes to a party, like a fancy Victorian kind of party. Because Peter S. Beagle is older. I don't know. Is he even alive? I have to look stuff up. I have to Google things. Half Broke Horses. No, I have not written that one. Half Broke Horses. Misty, yes, Misty of Shinkatig. I think I had the Briar Horses too. I think I had the Briar Horses and I read the book. Not horse related, but Orchid Fever is good. Crazy Flower People remind me of Crazy Horse People. Do you know what? Anybody that gets into something passionately or obsessively, when you look at different groups of people, there is a tendency for them to coalesce into groups of like-minded people where you can find your people and you feel at home. But there's also the tendency to find the real weirdos too. Like you'll find there's real crazy that shows up in obsessed and passionate people. I mean, there's me. It's a prequel to The Glass Castle. I haven't read that one either, Half Broke Horses. I have to look that one up. Is that modern or... Oh, that reminds me. I haven't thought of this book in a while. Who's read Can You Get There by Candlelight? Is that what it's called? Can I Get There by Candlelight? I think that I'm looking it up. Scott's on the chat. Hang on, y'all. Can I Get There by Candlelight? It was a book I read. A girl and her pony named Candlelight. Can I get there by Candlelight? Oh my God. It came up in search. A book by Jean Doty. Okay. Young Gail Simmons and her pony befriend a girl from another century. Yes. She, yeah, this girl has a pony named Candlelight, a little dapple gray. I'm a sucker for dapple grays. Loved this book. So she goes riding through the woods and she sees this old looking gate with like weeds and vines and stuff all over it. And so, but she sees that if she pulls away some stuff at the bottom of the gate, she could actually get the gate open. So she's like, why not? I'm trail riding. You've done it. I've done it. So she opens up the gate and she goes through and she goes through. And as she goes through, it goes from being weedy to being a little bit more manicured and a little more nice. And she rounds a corner and suddenly there's this nice house, like a mansion, a castle, kind of like out of nowhere. And this girl in an old fashioned dress comes running towards her. Oh, what are you doing? And speaking all old fashioned, the girl's like, what the heck? And so she has a pleasant afternoon with this girl and she goes back to her house to like the modern times, but she finally realizes like she's going back in time and she only can do it on her horse. Like she goes back there, she brings a friend, I think at one point she goes back there, but she can only do it if she's on her horse. And this book, y'all have no idea, because I had a gray horse when I was 12. His name was Anchors Away. And there were only these little paddocks to ride in, but I always like wanted to go like beyond the paddocks. Whenever we got permission to go in this little wooded area off to the side, it was like, I'm going to find it. I'm going to find the gate this time. I just know it. And you know, the hope of a 12-year-old on a horse, you know, that certainty, that faith. Like, I don't ever think I had a religious faith as strong as I had when I was riding horses and just knew I was about to find magic or a unicorn or whatever, you know. All right, hang on. Let me get back to this. Like, yeah, man, can I get there by
It's
candlelight?
like Narnia and Pride and Prejudice at
Yeah.
80.
Yes, it was a really great book. Can I get there by candlelight? The $80 Champion. Snowman. That's not fiction, though, is it? That's real. Harry and Snowman. I'm going to put that down. $80 Champion. I mean, not that you get points docked for bringing up nonfiction. Like, Champion. But I love that based on a true story kind of stuff, too. I can't remember the title of one book. I remember having one horse book with some girl, High Boy. The horse's name was High Boy. She named him High Boy. He was a liver chestnut. Of course, I remember the details about the horse. But it was a girl who was poor, who was told, her parents told her she couldn't afford a horse. They couldn't afford a horse. My parents told me this too. So I think this was before I got my horse. And I'm reading this book about this girl who buys a horse and like secretly, so her parents doesn't know, like has this horse and she's like managing it herself. And if so, of course, I was reading this book and scheming. It didn't happen. Don't worry. I never bought a horse that my parents didn't know about. Of course, this Snowman was a slaughter auction rescue that went on to be a champion. He was like a normal looking horse. He wasn't like, gorgeous. You wouldn't look at Snowman and be like, wow, oh my God. Like the tear wells up in your eye and you like suddenly can't breathe. You know, those horses that are just so breathtakingly beautiful. Snowman wasn't like that. He was like Salt, Lauren. He was more like kind of like, here I am with my big old head. There's a
Hey, Salt. Here I am with my big old head.
I miss Salt. He was a good boy. So yes, Lauren was one of Salt's favorites too.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
So I'm trying to think. I can't remember what the title of this book was, but it was a young girl and she named the horse High Boy. And of course, by the end, everyone found out her shenanigans. She was pretending to be rich too. She had to pretend to be rich at this place where she had put her horse. Oh, I wish someone had been there to tell me, honey, that book is fiction. Please stop your dreaming and scheming. If you know what, though, if the internet had existed when I was 11, 12 years old, I probably would have gotten in trouble. Like horse trouble. Like buying a horse. Hey, Dad, guess what? So probably, because like all we had were newspapers and classified ads and like telephones that like plugged into the wall. How am I going to find a horse? I don't know. This book gave me hope is what I'm saying. Salt. Yes. What a mess he was. Okay. So there's do I get there by candlelight? Can I get there by candlelight? I'm trying to remember some of the other really great horse books or really great magical books. Oh, of course. A Swiftly Tilting Planet. Who loves Madeline L'Engle? Like, Wrinkle in Time. Do you know that's a trilogy, right?
Yeah.
It's right. It's Wrinkle in Time, A Wind in the Door, and A Swiftly Tilting Planet. The first one I read, of course, was A Swiftly Tilting Planet because it had a giant winged unicorn on the cover. So boom. I think that was another book club find where I was like, circled. That's going on the list. Oh, that was like the best day. I didn't get to have absolutely everything I wanted, which I'm kind of glad. Because if I had been like the one kid that had like a stack of books, I was already known as like the teacher's pet because I knew I would raise my hand and know the answers and people like teacher's pet. So the kid that gets made fun of for being teacher's pet gets a giant stack of books. My mom was probably right. I would whine. My mom would be like, okay, that's enough. That's the limit. I would be like, my mom, it's books. I can't. I'm so bad. What are my other magical ones? The Last Unicorn, A Swiftly Tilting Planet, which is I really like that one the best. Even though A Wrinkle in Time probably would appeal to more, I can see, I don't know, A Swiftly Tilting Planet got really specific about things in history and genealogy and stuff that was just fascinating to me. And I was like, okay. And of course, there's the talking unicorn. Anyway. And I mean, The Horse and His Boy is the best Narnia book. I hope we can all agree on that. I think I would like The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe better if there were more horses and centaurs. I'm just saying. We had centaurs in the Harry Potter book series, but again, I was disappointed. Honestly, all right, we have to talk. I was disappointed I know a lot of us love the Harry Potter series, but one of my biggest disappointments, besides how the author turned out to be, one of my biggest disappointments was how there were really not a lot of like horsiness, like unicorns, or, like what if somebody's familiar could be a unicorn? Like, could we have that? That would have been cool. If there was that one guy who brings
Patronum.
Or yeah, the unicorn patronus, patronum. Listen to me. There was the unicorn's blood in, was that the Sorcerer's Stone one? I think that was the first book. There was the unicorn's blood, and then we had the centaurs later on in the series, but I was always kind of about the centaurs. I don't know. I didn't care for the way that she portrayed them. Yes. I don't know why. They weren't real centaurs to me. They were kind of wimpy.
They were like 2D cutouts of an idea.
They were very two-dimensional centaurs. Yeah. I don't know. I think she wanted them to be mystical or mysterious or something like that, but I was very disappointed with the centaurs. And with the unicorn presence. Like, we get one unicorn and it's dead and we're drinking its blood. Thanks, ma'am. That should have been my clue as to what kind of person J.K. Rowling was. She killed a unicorn in the first book.
And she had undead horses.
Yes. No, you know what, though? I do like the Thestrals. I like the Thestrals. I thought that was a cool idea. And I still want to figure out how to do like a Thestral costume. What other like horse series? Was there another one? Paul Revere and I? Oh.
Paul Revere's horse point of view.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I think I've heard of that. I have not. How can I have heard of that book and not have read it? Oh, my God. I'm writing it down. Hang on. I know I've hurt myself. I'm hurting right now. Hang on. Paul Revere book. Paul Revere book. Okay. You know what, y'all? It's time, I think. I want to do a mini book review with minimal spoilers, I think, here of this book, because one of y'all is going to get a copy of this. This is the first book in a series. There's a whole, it's called, this is book 1 of the Gallant Hearts series. And I read this book. I enjoyed it. It's written in the first person, which did not bother me, even though I don't completely relate to the main character. Like, we're different people. So it was really like putting myself in another person's shoes. At the very end, the thing that happened in here, though, the epilogue was written in another one of the characters' voices in the first person. And my brain sort of went off, and it made me realize that's what I wish the author had done the entire book. Like, I wish each chapter had been from a different, it could be totally first person, but I wanted I wanted to get into each character's head. Yes. And I didn't realize I needed that until I got to the epilogue and I was thinking as another character. And I was like, I needed this the whole time. So I don't know if that happens later on in the series. Like, that also makes me think, is the second book from the other character's perspective? Because I've only read this first book. So that kind of got me. I was intriguing. There is this book would be suitable for any age, I think, that can read this sort of book. There is romance implied. I think we're going to get there later on in the series. There are certainly feelings that are happening in the book, but there are no passages of extreme violence or extreme sexuality that you would be embarrassed to read if you were a teenager, or if you're a minor, or if your parents found the book and were flipping through it. They're not going to find something that makes them go, and call the school counselor or whatever. So it's good stuff. We'll say it's PG material. And I really did like the characters. I liked the horses how they were described. It's obviously written by someone who understands what they're talking about. When somebody puts a horse in a story, and it's supposed to be a real horse. I'm not talking like unicorns or anything like that, but it's supposed to be a real horse. And then they have the horses doing these ridiculous anthropomorphic behaviors. They talk about how, the horse is depressed and hasn't eaten for days. And all the horse people are like, well, the horse is dead now then, there are things when you read that stick out to you as being obviously, oh, a person who doesn't understand horses wrote this book, or a person who's never been around horses but likes them wrote this book. This one is obviously written by someone who knows their stuff, who knows the terminology and who knows what horse people do, even different horse people, like the different characters, they don't all behave. They don't all have the same kind of horsemanship or skills. So that is interesting to me as well. I do wish the stakes had been a little higher, like because it's a series and I know it's a series, like I knew we were winning at the end of the book, so I was kind of like going along in a way that made it more soothing to read. Like I didn't have to get too anxious about the journey. But on the other hand, I was like, what are we risking here? It made it feel kind of like the pilot episode of a series, where you sort of get introduced to everything, but nothing gets fully developed. And I kind of wanted there to be a little bit more development of something. I wanted something to be more fully developed by the end of this book instead of just, yay jousting. But it was a lot of fun to read the journey of the person. I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's as an equestrian. If you're not an equestrian and you win the book and you read the book, you may not understand a lot of it. Not a lot of it. You may not understand some of the horse stuff, but I think you'll be able to get it in context. But with the horse people who read the book, I think it's almost, even though I didn't think am I finishing a sentence? I can't.
I'm not sure.
I know
you
I
sound
can't.
a little bit like me.
I know. Well, I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to say about the book. Yeah. Because I liked it, but it was more in a comforting way. I think equestrians will be comforted by the language and the situations and just the being at the barn kind of vibe. I guess what I'm trying to say is I think equestrians will get more out of the book than non-equestrians will, but I don't think it's a total wash for non-equestrians. It's a fun read. And again, it's set in modern times. I'm loving all of the characters so far. Oh, I also wish we had more of an antagonist in this book. We do have an antagonist, but I feel like he lacks teeth. I wanted there to be more. I don't know.
Flashing swords.
Yes, I needed some. I needed some blood. I need someone to bite someone. That's what I wanted. There's nobody bit anyone in this book. Not even, yeah.
Spoiler.
Yeah. So there's your spoiler. Nobody gets bitten in the book. I did really enjoy it. And I really, especially because it's an extra equestrian genre and an extra equestrian author. Like this was a person who lived this life and is writing stories about it. And I just think that is fantastic. It was incredibly enjoyable. I could see this being a TV series, honestly. Like I can imagine it in my mind as I'm reading it. I can see the characters. I can see the horses. I can see what's happening in my mind. So it was really a very enjoyable read. But again, once I got to that epilogue, you'll see, whoever reads this, if you haven't read this before, you'll get to the epilogue and you'll be like, we needed this all.
How many hoofs do you give it? And you can give it half hooves.
How many hooves? Out of 4 hooves?
You do 5. 5 hooves, give yourself some.
Do horses have 5 hooves?
It's unicorn magic. Damn it.
Listen to him, 5 hooves.
Oh, I know. The Adept series. The one where, with the horse, the unicorn.
You're right. And we forgot
Blue
about that.
Adept
Okay.
or,
Yeah, I think that was Blue Adept, or was it juxtaposition with, okay, we're talking Piers Anthony now. Hang on. Piers Anthony, who, now that I look back at some of the stuff he's written, is kind of problematic. But one of his Adept series featured a unicorn that had 5 legs. So yes, thank you.
That was cool.
I have been reminded that exists.
His beat got an extra beat.
Yeah, it was. I don't think it was 5 legs. Yeah, it was
like an extra.
Yeah, it was a 5 beat gait. Maybe that was it. It's been too long since I've read that series, apparently. But I think that's the one I started with because the guy was riding a unicorn. Again, that's where I'll start in a series. I don't start with book 1 in a series. I start with the book that has the horse or the unicorn on the cover. That's how it's not laughing at me. That's how I choose. And then if I like the book, then I'm like, oh, I guess I'll read the rest of the series. Y'all. Isn't that how y'all do it?
I started a book with an eagle on it, and it was like the 8th book in a series, but the eagle caught me.
Please tell me I'm not the only one that do this. Have y'all discovered series because one of the books had a horse on the cover? Please tell me I'm not the only one that's done that. Becca's here. Hey, I've got 2 mods in the chat today. What's up? 10 hands in real life. Carousel horses are about. Oh, okay. Yeah. Huh. Undecided to do them full size or half size. I love carousel horses. Didn't you love the carousel when you were little? I mean, it only goes around and around. It's not very exciting, but didn't you just feel I would sit and like watch it go around and around and choose my horse. Like I would like pick my mount and then I would go and I could feel this magical creature alive underneath me. I'm weird. Reading a lot of carousel and woodworking books lately. I'm done drawing. Aw. All right, well, look, let's do a giveaway for the book. I've given you a review of the book. Oh, I would give it 3, let's do 3 out of 4 hooves. Or 3.5 out of 4 hooves. Like it didn't knock my socks off, but it was enjoyable. I kept coming back for more. There were times where I had to make myself stop reading to go to bed because I needed to get some sleep. So, I mean, you're definitely going to have a good time. So I want to send you, who wants me to send them a book? Who wants to read Well Armored Hearts by J.D. Harrison? Oh, by the way, main character is Jo, which is short for Josephine. So we love her. Main character is a woman. Yes. So who wants in on, let me know, Scott.
I am. I'm waiting.
Oh, okay. Hello. So we're going to do a giveaway. Oh, I forgot to get my unicorn shower cap. So I can do like a drawing of the names. Let me do that while people. So if you want, like type in the chat if you want to this book for free. Mailed to your house. So here's my magical unicorn shower cap that my mom got for me a couple of Christmases ago.
I didn't even see it.
What? Trish Barbie show. Oh, she just said, please add me. It's weird, Trish. Like for some reason, I think it's because it says add me. Like if you do spammy things like sub for sub, hey, sub to my channel or whatever, it shows up as like spammy. And so it'll leave a message like, do we want to show this or hide this? Like, is this a dangerous message? How dare people? Okay, we're going to put Trish. We're going to put Trish's name in the unicorn hat. And yeah, so this is my unicorn shower cap. It gets a lot of use because if I don't wear a shower cap, when I take a bath, it leaves a blue spot on the back of the tub. From me just holding my head up back there. That's what that blue spot is that I have to like. I'm like, oh dang it, I forgot my shower cap.
I'm not sure. People seem like that might be. Oh, there. Madeline said put me into the.
Okay.
And there are a couple of people before that I don't know if they're beating around the bush. They want to be in the drawing or if it's unrelated.
I like to listen to creepy stories. The reason why, because I have trouble reading. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. So, well, this is why I was concerned about doing this giveaway because some people have like dyslexia or other kinds of conditions where it's difficult for them to read a book or just read a printed page. And I don't want to be ableist about my giveaways. I want them to be enjoyed by everyone. But then again, I don't know if this book is available by audio. You know what? Autism Center. Hang on. Let me see if this is available on audiobook. Why don't I just look up that? Well Armored Hearts. If it's on Amazon as, hang on.
You could just start reading it right now.
Word. Hearts. I know, but like I can purchase the download.
Cool. Yeah.
I just want to see if it's an audiobook too. I don't know if it's available in audio because it's a smaller thing. Sorry, I'm reading about on the Amazon. I'm just trying to figure out about the author. Lending enable, text to speech enabled. What does that mean? Screen reader supported? Does that mean it is?
It means there's a text download, but you can hit a text to speech thing and then it'll read it for you. but it doesn't come as an audio.
Gotcha.
Naturally.
I see.
I think that's what
Oh, there is Kindle Unlimited. If you have Kindle Unlimited, you can read it for free, like right now. You don't need my giveaway. There you go.
Woo!
I am useless to you.
Woo! Useless!
Stop it. I'll have to think about that for future giveaways. And my apologies to anyone who has trouble reading books or reading print in any form. If you are left out of this giveaway, I apologize. I will consider that in the future. Does anybody else want in for the book? So far, I've just got Trish and Madeline. Those are 50-50 odds. I like that. I like that. If anybody else, let me vamp for a minute to see if anybody else wants in for the book. We'll do a little dance.
The vamp dance.
Vamp dance. What is this crazy? I need to work on my lighting. My lighting is, I'm too close to it. Maybe that's the problem. Am I too close to my lighting? I'm like all up in my own business. Look at my face.
Too emotionally attached to your life.
I know. I am. I was going for like I don't think I put on enough blush. I was going for like an e-girl level of blush, and I just didn't get it there at all. And I didn't bother with fake freckles since I have age spots and sunspots. I thought that would do it. I mean, I don't know. And I can't wing an eyeliner. I can't. It's not in my skill set. It's not happening. Something about the smell of books. I
Right.
know. I used to love I saw something recently, like what the chemicals are, what those smells are, and the difference between new books and old books. Like what you are smelling on an old book and what you are smelling on a new book and how they're different. There's outgassing in new books from like the printing process. There's it just explained all the chemicals and what they were why they were there. It was so fascinating because I've always loved, like, you walk into a library and you just.
That's it. I'm going to get a smell of books cologne.
The smell of books or horses. Like, that just.
I don't know if I can do that.
Come to the barn with me. Come to the barn with me. And then when we get home, I'll be like, oh, you smell so good.
I might rub a book on me too.
All right. Who else is here? Who else wants a book? Anybody? This might be a lesson to me. Like, there's enough people that don't read like real books anymore, and through no fault of their own, that to do a book giveaway without doing an audiobook is
Do you know all the books at my store are free?
Are they?
You can't sell them. Yes, all of them, always.
Free books.
Yes.
Free books.
Yes,
I love free books. I love libraries. Y'all, libraries are the most amazing thing. Just collections of books. I don't read one of the reasons I wanted to do this live stream is because I don't read as much as I used to anymore. I read this. Do you know how I read? This is how I read. That's how I read. Articles, news articles. I took Facebook off my phone briefly. I'm taking a little break from having Facebook on my phone because I would just sit. It was attached to my hand and I could just sit there and scroll, and I had a constant stream of information being loaded directly into my eyeballs. And it makes me not want to read real books as much, and not to get into a real book. So I have been drawn to reading a little bit more since taking Facebook off my phone. So this is fun for me. But this is part of me being like, hey, I need to start reading again. I need to get more into reading. I've got a bunch of great suggestions from all of y'all for new books to try, books I missed. I can't wait to look for the Firebringer series. I'm going to try Half Broke Horses. I'm going to look for that Paul Revere book too. I'm going to see if I can find it. 1 or 2 more minutes just to see if anybody's in the chat. Anybody? Do you want a book? I'll mail you a book. You just put your name down there in the chat. If not, it's going to be Trish or Madeline. It's going to be like a horse race. We're going to imagine y'all running.
Neck and neck.
Right, coming down the home stretch.
Except it'll be you reaching into a bag.
Me reaching into a bag, right?
The second paper got in the way. She's twirled it around.
These are like the best odds we've had on the live stream though, because usually there's like a couple of names. We get like 5 to 10 people in a drawing, you know,
Right.
but just 2 people. I should make y'all fight first.
Clever. Centaur says hello.
Centaur, hello. I am digging that profile picture.
Oh, I am Centaur.
I love it. Reading before bedtime is better than phone. Yes, I know. I really need to go back to just reading. I've got books by over there that I'm reading, ghost story books, and because I tell ghost stories as a tour guide downtown in my city. So I live in Savannah, Georgia, which is supposed to be one of the most haunted cities in America. And so I tell ghost stories. So I have like 2 ghost story books by my bed. I do need another horse book to work on though. So I think I'm going to have things from this. Clemtar, we are also doing a book giveaway. I don't know if you've been here for the whole chat, but I am giving away this book called, not this particular book, but this book called Well Armored Hearts. It is a romance fiction, an equestrian, modern equestrian romance fiction. It's about modern day jousting. It's about a troupe of jousters who work at a Renaissance festival and the actual jousting that they do. So if you want, I can put your name in for the drawing. We've only got 2 names in the drawing right now, and I'm about to do a drawing for it. So if you'd like me to send you a book, I can put your name in there. And but I don't know if like horse books are not your jam, because there's no centaurs in it. Spoiler alert, there are no centaurs in it.
Dun, dun, dun.
I know. We haven't talked about a lot of centaur books tonight. The only ones that have really gotten a mention are the Narnia books. I can't really think of other like books that have centaurs in them that make me go, well, I mean, A Wrinkle in Time has a centaur. It's a weird centaur, but they're centaurs. But they're weird.
It's not a great representation
No.
of centaur tales.
No.
It's more like the myth
Sounds like somebody should write a book.
Dun, dun. Who? Wait, you or me?
Me.
Okay.
You're not going to write I'm going to write a centaur book. You settle down. That's my husband, by the way. My husband he's being one of our moderators, our chat moderators, because sometimes we get people who pop into the chat and they're like, I'm going to say the N word or whatever, or tell me that I'm fat and ugly, or tell me what they want to do to me, or just drop the F-bomb over and over and over again because people think they're hilarious. Because people, right. So I have my husband sitting right over here. And if we have any of those people pop up, of course, when I have someone sitting here, nobody pops into the chat, but no. So Clemtar, would you like to be in the drawing for the book? If not, I don't have a unicorn hat. I have a unicorn shower cap. So for my giveaways, we pull names out of a shower cap, not a hat. Oh, and Clemtar, my centaur videos are starting up next Sunday. Oh my God. Next Sunday will be the next Centaur of Attention video. I'm so excited. So anyway. Watersmeet. I'm going to write that down. That's on my list. Thank you. We were mostly talking about equestrian fiction today, like horse books, but we did give some mentions to unicorns, like The Last Unicorn, and centaurs have gotten a mention, talking horses in the Narnia books, that kind of thing. I don't know. I feel like we've missed so much. I know I've read so many horse books in my life. Like, how could I not? Like, this was why, though, like one of my favorite books to read in school was Animal Farm because of Boxer. And if you have not read Animal Farm, I'll just say I love Boxer. Boxer. I will work harder.
Oh, I know.
I know. It was the worst. Anyway, if you haven't read Animal Farm, you really should. And don't get too attached to Boxer.
Autism Centaur has a question about Santa videos.
Hang on. I have a question since I saw now I can take one of your centaur. That's not it. Oh, one of the centaur videos and do an animated one. No, on the drawing. Thank you. Okay.
Gotcha.
Already doing it. Centaur book. Oh, cool. Are you writing a centaur book or doing a centaur book? That's amazing. I'm loving it. All right, then you know what? We have vamped long enough. Trish, Madeline, are you still here? Because I'm reaching down into the unicorn. This is going to be sad. Like, I kind of don't want this to happen. Somebody's going to lose, and it's going to make me cry. Who is the winner today? It's Madeline. Madeline is our winner. I'm going to email me or message me on Facebook. Here, let me put my Unicorn and Centaur at, no, not W, at gmail.com. There is my email address if you would like to email me your mailing address. I think I had it for some reason. Did you win something on, I can't remember now. If you won something on the giveaways before, I might have it in our message thread. But if not, just refresh my memory. And I will put in an order. Like, I don't even have it. I'm just going to order it from Amazon, I think, and have them send it right to you. So let me know that mailing address, and I'll get that mailed out to you this week. And like, don't put it here in the chat. You're that smart, though. I don't think I have to tell you that. And Trish, I'm sorry. Trish, if you've got the Kindle thing, you can go read it for free right now. I don't know, maybe if I end up giving away my copy of Well Armored Hearts, Trish, you're going to be first on the list. So congratulations to Madeline. Let me see. What else we got here? The Centaur's Daughter. All right, I'm writing that down too. I'm getting good ones.
That's the second of that first one.
Oh, okay. I'm so excited about this. Thank you for joining the chat. Hey. Hi. I know. I'm super excited.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, Trish, Centaur book. Precious Bane. Okay, hang on. I'm missing things. All right. Thank you, guys. All right. We are going to wrap up this chat.
The Dungeons and Dragons comic book has a centaur.
Okay. I believe you. He said, Scott says the Dungeons and Dragons comic book had a centaur in it. I'm not reading the Dungeons and Dragons comic book. No. I'm not. Stop laughing. I'm not.
I'll go buy it for you.
So
baby.
thank you to everybody who showed up in the chat today. We're all caught up. We're ready for March. We are working on all of our various art and working with our horses or just loving horses. The next video is going to be next Sunday. It's going to be the Centaur of Attention. If you would like to join my Patreon, I put out the videos one day early for Patreon members. I also do a special video, which I have to go do right after this. I put together one outtake / behind the scenes blooper video for my Patreons every month. And there's also other perks, like you can get discounts on merch in my Etsy store and other stuff too. So if you want, check it out. I think the $5 tier is like the best value, and that's like buying me a fancy coffee once a month. So except I won't buy fancy coffee. It goes directly to my horses, Artex and Sunny. So thank you to everybody who was here in the chat today. Thank you everybody who participated. Congratulations to Madeline. And I will see you guys for the next live stream at the end of March. And we'll do another giveaway. I think I know what I'm doing for the giveaway for that. And it's going to be a handmade thing, unless I come up with something better. So where's my end of live stream? Centaur. Percy Jackson and the Olympians has centaurs in. Yes, I've actually read the first one. How could I forget about that one? My son is a Rick Riordan fiend. Like, I'm pretty sure he's read all of Rick Riordan's books. If not, he's on his way to.
I'm in the middle of the series right now. I'm reading Titan Scarce.
Oh my gosh. I know. Well, like, I haven't really gotten into this. Liam would love it if I got into the series. My son, Liam, he's like 13, and he just devours everything Rick Riordan, by that author. He just loves the worlds that he creates. He loves all of that whole universe. And so, yes, absolutely. I've got a whole bunch of Centaur books right here in the house. Then I could just read that. You know, I think, isn't Chiron an actual character?
Yeah.
I think that was why. I love centaurs. Y'all, the centaur people don't come for me. I'm not a huge fan of Chiron. I was like, that's who represents
sign.
us. I know. No, I was always upset that he was like most representative of centaurs in literature. It's like, that's not who we are. I don't know why. Maybe I need to do a video about my beef.
He's the most reserved of all.
I have hinted at my beef with Chiron in my Centaur of Attention series. It may be time to finally take that to the next level.
My beef with Chiron doesn't sound like
my beef with Chiron. I know, right? I don't know why. It's a thing I have. He's just not my favorite. So yeah, I was like, there's a centaur in it. It's Chiron.
Sagittarius, man.
I know. That's my moon sign.
How do you put two centaurs in the astrology? Two? Do they fight it out? Is it like Man of Wars in a fish tank?
There's a centaur. Chiron is not a sign.
Well,
it's not a zodiac sign. No.
Am I going crazy?
You are going crazy, and we're stopping this live stream. Wait,
With a man ripping a snake in two?
No, stop.
Okay.
Please stop. We are stopping my live stream before my husband can embarrass me any further. Goodbye until next month, or actually until next week when you'll see me in the video. But for live stream, you'll have to wait till next month. Thank you guys for being here. I love you guys. Bye.